Friday, March 9th. I'm your host, Sarah Beal. On today's show, we will talk to Sandy Neck Beach Park Manager Nina Coleman about how Sandy Neck is faring after Winter Storm Riley. Then we'll talk summer leisure program registration with Program Coordinator Mickey Davies. And finally, Barnstable Youth Commission Chair Matt Hersey joins us to discuss next week's Community Prevention Forum and 7th Grade Youth Summit. But first, let's get a look at today's top headlines. The Department of Public Works invites interested individuals to attend a public information meeting regarding planned improvements along portions of C Street and Ocean Avenue in Hyannis. The meeting will be held at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, March 21st at the Hyannis Transportation Center. The purpose of this meeting is to provide residents an opportunity to review the proposed improvements prior to final design and to learn about the projected time frame for construction. Construction is planned to start in the fall of 2018 and is anticipated to continue through 2019, with construction breaks between Memorial Day and Labor Day and over the winter. Due to the recent storms, the extreme conditions, and excessive debris, the off-road vehicle beach at Sandy Neck Beach Park will remain closed until further notice. The gatehouse was flooded from Storm Riley and is also closed. We will keep you up to date on the status of Sandy Neck Beach Park when we talk with Beach Park Manager Nina Coleman later in the show. A travel advisory has been issued by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in New England regarding the Sagamore Bridge. Beginning Tuesday, March 27th, the Sagamore Bridge will be reduced by 2 lanes as work begins on a 55-day project. The work will be done 24 hours a day. The Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority will hold an informational meeting about the project at 10 a.m. on March 20th at the Hyannis Transportation Center. The public is invited to attend. The search has begun for a new chief of police. The position is part of civil service, and the town manager has made the determination to proceed with an internal search. MMA Consulting was hired to ensure the civil service components of the search are followed and will ultimately provide 3 names as finalists for the position. The Barnstable Police Department is an integral part of our community. Therefore, the town would like to hear the community's thoughts on issues facing the town and qualities and characteristics of the person selected to lead our police department. Town Manager Mark L. will be providing some opportunities for community input via meetings in the near future. In the meantime, please visit the town website at townofbarnstable.us to complete a survey and have your voice be heard. Deadline for the survey responses is today, Friday, March 9th. Up next, Sandy Neck Beach Park Manager Nina Coleman. Nina, thank you so much for joining us today. Unfortunately, we've had 2 nor'easters come through in less than a week out at Sandy Neck and across the Cape. First, there was Winter Storm Riley, which came through last Friday, and then this week on Wednesday and Thursday, there was a pretty bad storm. How is Sandy Neck faring so far?
Yes, thank you for those questions. It was definitely a bigger deal on Friday when we had quite a large storm come through, Storm Riley. It was kind of the same type of storm as earlier this season, where we had extensive flooding. The floodwaters came up into the gatehouse again, and so we had another flood event in the gatehouse. Some of the cottages were compromised out at the cottage colony. All the trails were flooded. So part of the storm event from Riley was quite a large storm surge and flood. And then, unfortunately, the storm was a long-duration storm. So what occurred on the front beach was those waters just kept building. It coincided with quite a large tide event. So we had, I would say, major erosion on our front beach. We lost a lot of the dune in front of the parking lot. So we have concerns about our parking lot because the dune, we have a lot of sacrificial sand in front of that dune that we place every year, and most of that is gone. Mm-hmm. We lost quite a bit of beach elevation, sand on the beach, dune on the beach. So we took a direct hit, no doubt. Riley was tough.
Yeah, it was, and it brought a lot of, as long as that was part of taking away a lot of the sand, it brought a lot of debris onto the beach and onto the ORV trails to the point where I know that the ORV trails are closed at this time.
Yes, the ORV trails are closed. A big issue for us is the integrity of that dune. We don't want vehicles driving all over the place. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of new blowouts that were carved out from this storm, so the whole beach looks quite different. She will build back up. You look at it and you kind of have this like knee-jerk reaction. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this long enough to know that. those sands will come back. It is a tough year, but it will start looking different. But also the debris. A lot of debris came in. Sandwich Town Neck was hit very hard, and all that material's down on Sandy Neck. There's stairs all over the place. 6x6 posts, maybe hundreds of those. We're working to remove all that stuff with heavy equipment. You can see a big pile of it in the parking lot. If anybody likes to look at that kind of stuff, it's kind of shocking how much debris has been moved about on our shoreline.
Mm-hmm. And included in that was, what I believe was a channel marker?
Yes, the channel marker DJ, which apparently was marking the target ship off of Eastham. Mm-hmm. So it's the target ship that was sunk called SS James Longstreet. Had this buoy DJ to let folks, maritime people know not to run into it.
Right.
That let loose in Storm Grayson. That was back in January, from what I understand. That has been floating around. Was on a beach in Wellfleet for a while, and then Riley brought her over this enormous channel marker, wouldn't be a channel, and deposited that on our beach. And so obviously we've been in touch with the Coast Guard. I think that they were waiting for this storm that looks to be over. I'm looking out the window, but looks to be over, but that is still on our beach. So at some point they'll come and remove that and hopefully put that back where it needs to be.
Right. So I know we talked after the last storm about some of the challenges coming up, and we're right back to where we were. The gatehouse has been flooded again, and the trails are kind of a mess. What is the plan moving forward in order to get Sandy Neck, back to where people can enjoy it, whether it's this spring or even this summer?
Yeah, there's a lot of different layers to that, and I do appreciate that question. And I really understand that people are itching to get back out there and see the beach, see what's going on. People are concerned about where we stand for this summer, this spring, particularly. As the manager, I have to take it one step at a time. So number one is cottage owner access. So that's really what we're focused on right now. Those cottage owners need to get out there and assess their properties. It's their private property rights, and so that's number one for us. Going to get right now within the next few days. After that, we need to start looking at that parking lot. We are working to put more sand in front of that parking lot. We have permits that are very specific about what time period we can do that. So I'm trying to thread the needle with regard to plover. Plovers are going to return any minute now. So, managing a beach on Cape Cod is very challenging between plover, endangered species protection, private property rights, and providing access. And then, of course, all of this climate change and the effect of climate change. So we're really trying to thread the needle on that and trying to get some sand in front of our lots so we can shore them up. That would be the next move. All that needs to be done by April 1st. And then after that, we're going to move on to looking at the off-road vehicle beach, seeing where we stand with that, how we can get that open so folks can get out there and look around and, quite frankly, help us get that debris off the beach. There's a lot of stuff that comes in after these storms that needs to be removed. We have concerns about people heading out there. The tides are still really high because the seas are up, so we don't want anybody to get stranded out there. That's coupled with the beach being really low after these storms, so this tide is coming right up to the toe of the dune. There's buried debris. We don't want people going out there getting flat tires. So that's would be the next move, is how, it has to start with safety and then private property rights and then infrastructure protection and then recreation. And I understand everybody's concerned about recreation, but that is how I have to proceed to get to that point. So We are going to be moving forward with permit sales, off-road vehicle permit sales. That is generally in March. We're going to move forward with that. It's going to be a little later this year, but people should be receiving an email shortly with that information. And then we're going to, look to the future to get that part of the beach up and running.
Wonderful. Are the upper and lower parking lots open at this time, or are they closed?
Yeah, so the upper lot is open. We opened that as soon as we could because we understand. I mean, honestly, there was like 300 vehicles that came through right after the storm that want to just cycle through and have a look. And I get that after all these years. People really want to see what's going on. So we got that open as soon as possible, as soon as it was safe. The lower lot is blocked off. We have concerns about the integrity of the lot in one of the corners there. We also have stockpiling of debris down there in the lower lot, so we need some space to move around right now.
Great. Well, Nina, I wish you all the best of luck in getting Sandy Neck back, and I hope that everyone out there understands, the priorities and what needs to be done before we can even get to talking about recreation back out on Sandy Neck. But we'll get there.
We'll get there, Sarah. We will get there.
We will, for sure. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Appreciate the opportunity to talk about it.
Wonderful. Have a great day.
You as well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. My guest today is Nina Coleman. She's the Sandy Neck Beach Park Manager here in the town of Barnstable. Coming up, Barnstable Youth Commission Chair Matt Hersey, but first, Recreation Program Coordinator Mickey Davies. Mickey, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to talk all about the Barnstable Summer Leisure Program registration.
Yay.
Begins next week.
Yes, it's beginning.
It's beginning. It's here, and I know that there's so many people out there that take part, and their children take part in this program. And there's some changes to this year that we want to make sure people are aware of, and there's a lot of things that are exactly the same as they are every year, so people can expect the same. The first thing we want to talk about, there's a couple of changes to location.
Right.
The Hyannis West location is going under the school itself is being renovated this summer, so they're going to be at the high school.
Actually, the Hyannis West site right now is being used for Hyannis West program.
Oh, okay.
And our Horace Mann site, which is the alternative to our High West site, is being worked on this summer.
Okay.
So for this summer, we were really lucky, and we're able to get the junior-senior CAF over at Barnstable High School.
Perfect.
So it's great, and if our food program runs, it will run out of that program. So we're excited about it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And in addition to that change, you have a whole new site this year that you've never had before at Barnstable United Elementary School, which I know all of the residents that live in Marston's Mills, Osterville, Cotuit, in that area are going to be so excited about.
Right, because a lot of our kids do attend BUES during the year and never have that as a site available. So, we had a site in the Mills in the past. It's been gone for a long time, so I couldn't be any more pleased that they're letting us into Barnstable United, and I think we're going to have a blast over there.
Yeah.
So.
And this opens up the program to include 65 more children.
Right. We have an incredible wait list every year. It breaks my heart. We never want to see a kid not have camp in the summer. I think it's great for every child, and I'm such an advocate of camp.
Yes.
So our leisure program, we are excited to say, is going to be able to take 65 more kids off of that wait list.
That's amazing.
And we're excited to have them. And that also means opportunity for more staff as well.
There's all the positions have been posted for all the summer programs, lifeguards, leisure camp, counselors, and all that, which are posted right now on the town's website. So if you're interested in being a camp counselor, this is the time to apply. And there, like you said, there's a new site, so there's some new positions open. And I know that everybody that's worked before has to reapply every year.
Right. And we get about 80% of our counselors back every year.
Which is amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It says that they love the program, they love the kids, and I'm always excited to get them back because they're so helpful in training our new staff, which are always so full of enthusiasm and excited to be a part of the program.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So registration begins on March 13th, that's for residents, and then it's a week later, March 20th, for non-residents.
Exactly.
The program runs from July 2nd through August 17th.
Yes.
Every day. The only day that you don't have it is the 4th of July.
4th of July.
So that's every weekday. That's pretty good.
It's great.
It is, especially for
7 weeks of sun and the fun for $850.
You really can't beat that.
You really can't. here on the Cape, I don't believe that you can beat that.
And the kids do so many different things. They go to the beach. They have field trips. They do arts and crafts.
Talent shows, barbecues, you know, field games, gym games, field days, you know. So we're excited. And every year we try to change up our field trips just a little bit, you know, and then always pick some of our favorites, like Water Whiz
Right, of course.
You know, we can't do a summer without Water Whiz.
Right.
I mean, people actually plan their vacations around when Water Whiz is, you know, because they know their child wants to go to Water Whiz, so they're not going to take off that week, you know. So it's fun, yeah.
Exactly.
So we'll do a lot of fun things.
That's wonderful. Now, some new things this year is the online registration. It's a fillable form.
Yes.
So you can fill it in right on your computer. You don't have to print it and write it in. You can type it all right in on your computer.
Right.
And then email it directly to you, which I think is going to make things so easy for people.
You can kind of upload it back into the system, or even easier, email it right back to me once you have it. So I'm hoping that we get our packets. I can't stress enough how important it is to have the paperwork prior to camp. And I don't mean a week prior to camp. I mean, really, you know, when you register, we should be getting your paperwork within a week. And that helps us with everything, your t-shirt sizes. We want to make sure that your kid has the right size t-shirt to play in so they feel comfortable in the summer. You know, never mind all of the medical information and things like that. And if your child happens to have special needs or a disability, what it is we can do to help them have a really successful summer. So the faster you get your paperwork into us, the better job we can do for you. So, and that's always what we want to do, the best job.
And it seems like it's so far away. It's like, okay, the registration begins March 13th, but the program doesn't begin till July 2nd.
Right.
But that's going to go by so
and
quickly.
We start working in January. So, you know, we start up in January, and then in March, things really start to
once the registration opens, it's like, okay, got to get this going.
Yeah, so let's move it. Let's get there.
Let's talk a little bit about the cost, because it is $850. You have ways that people can pay.
Yes, we do have financial aid that's offered to Barnstable residents. And that form is also on the Barnstable Recreation website. Right under Leisure Program, it will say Financial Aid Form. It will also have one of the packets, a fillable packet there, if you're interested in getting it off of the website. That's where, when our field trips are set, we'll put those schedules up. When our beach trips are set, those schedules are up. So that's really loaded with information, so people should check that out. And anybody looking for financial aid, you can pick one up at the HYCC, or you can just easily go online to the Barnstable Recreation website and grab the form right off of there. And then you pay, I think, $400 at the time of registration.
And then you can pay the remaining balance before registration.
Right, and
the
I
program
think,
begins.
yes, and I think it's $650 in total that you pay. You have a $200 discount.
That's pretty good.
It is great. And this fee includes everything. So
there's no extra money involved.
No, no.
Once
so
you're in.
You're in. You don't have to worry about the field trip fees or, you know, anything like that. If you happen to be at a school where we're running a lunch program, you don't have to worry about lunch or fees for that. So it's great.
It's such a wonderful program. I know that if I had children, I would be first one in line trying to get them signed up for this, because it's such a great program. You don't have to worry about your kids. It's 5 days a week. The kids don't have to go every day. You are signed up for 5 days every week, but if you have like family visiting, or if you have something that's going on, you're not required to send your child every single day.
Exactly.
Which I think is a nice flexibility, so you don't feel like, oh, you know, Billy's got camp, but Grandma's coming to visit and she wants to do this.
And I think it's affordable enough to be able to do that. And I see a lot of families do that. You know, take time off and do their summer vacation still. They just give me a little email or a little shout out somehow and let us know that their child's not going to be around for a couple days, or, you know, however long that is, and we let the directors and counselors know not to expect them, and we wish them fun, and, you know, have them come back.
Wonderful. This is such a great program. I hope that anybody that's out there that's able to can take advantage of it. Mickey, thank you so much for talking with us today. Good luck at registration next week.
Thank you. I'm excited.
I hope it goes smoothly.
I would like it all to fill in a day and get all of your paperwork.
Wonderful.
Yeah, then we're moving forward.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for coming in today. I
thanks,
appreciate
Sarah.
it. My guest today is Mickey Davies. She's a program coordinator in the Recreation Division. Matt, thank you so much for joining us today.
You.
We're going to talk about a big project that the Barnstable Youth Commission works on. You guys have been doing this for quite a few years.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Community Prevention Substance Abuse Forum, as well as the 7th Grade Youth Summit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the Community Prevention Forum. That's taking place on March 15th, Thursday night at Cape Cod Community College. What can you tell me about the Prevention Forum?
Sure. So the Prevention Forum in the past has kind of been a way that we've introduced our keynote speakers, kind of got the parents and the community on board with our youth summit. But this year we're going in a little bit different direction. We're bringing in the Barnstable Police to kind of do a panel and interact with the community and the parents and whoever might want to show up to see really what the nature of the beast is in the town.
It'll be a good opportunity for parents to really talk directly to the police department about the things that they should be concerned with.
Right.
When you approach the police department, what do they think about being the presenters for Thursday night?
Sure. So on our commission, we have Lieutenant Chalice is one of our advisors, and when we brought it up, she was beaming about it. She really jumped on it because she's always looking for ways to get us involved with the police, just to kind of show the community and I guess the kids as well that the police are a resource for them and not really an obstacle. And so when we approached her at one of our meetings about possibly bringing in the police, she was all for it. She was really excited about it. So
that's excellent.
Yeah,
very cool. So the Community Prevention Forum is going to be on Thursday, and that's for parents, grandparents, people who live in the community that are concerned with the drug problem that we have, not just here in Barnstable, but in the entire United States and in the world, really. So that'll be at 5:30 p.m. Are you going to have anything special that if parents need help with their children, and like I say, they have small children?
Absolutely. There will be babysitting provided by, I believe, the Recreation Department.
Yeah, some of their program people who run the programs are going to be there providing
familiar faces.
Yes. So, if you've taken part in any of the rec programs, you'll know some of the kids that are there to provide babysitting, so you can trust that everything will be okay. Like you said, it's open to the public. People can come. The narcotics unit is going to be there. Are they just going to be speaking? Will they be presenting anything in particular?
We haven't really specifically gone over it with them, but since it's going to be a panel, we'll kind of introduce them, a few opening remarks about the nature of the town and our youth summit the following day, and then we'll open it up to the room. And in the past, we've kind of do that as well with Anita Devlin and Mike Devlin, and then Chris Herron as well. They kind of just opened it up to the room, and they're really willing to connect, and so I'm hoping the police will do that as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, and it's a great opportunity for parents maybe to ask the questions that, maybe there's something that they don't know about that they're interested in finding out more, and I'm sure they will learn about things that they didn't even know existed.
Absolutely.
So the following day, on Friday, March 16th, is the Youth Summit. This is the 7th Grade Youth Summit, and all of the 7th graders from Barnstable Intermediate School will be coming to Cape Cod Community College. What can the kids expect that day when they come?
They can expect commitment to them, and that's one of the things that we've been really, really prideful about since moving it to the community college, is that I think one of our slight concerns the first year we created it was how interested the kids are going to be in this message. And the first year was a little bit rocky, but it was also the first year trying it out. And then we moved it to community college and brought in professionals and brought in introduced the idea of a really singular keynote speaker and the lunch for them, the resources for them. And it's kind of jumped off since there. They see that we're interested in it, invested in it, and there's a ton of adults in the town that are really invested in them, and I think they really interact well with that. And then we also bring in youth from the high school to speak with them, and they love that. I think that's probably one of their favorite parts of the summit. Getting to meet some of those peer leaders from the high school and seeing what they have to say. And it's probably also a good way for them to kind of get an introduction into the high school next year. They're going to be 8th graders. It can be a little nerve-wracking. I know that the high school does a lot to welcome them in, but I think this is a great opportunity for them to meet, like you said, meet those students from Barnstable High School, learn about all the different clubs and activities, because I know there's going to kind of be like an opportunity for that. What do you hope that the 7th graders, really get out of the Youth Summit? Well, there's two objectives. So one of them, like you said, is introducing them to the high school, showing them familiar faces who are going to be really great mentors in their next 5 years, but also introducing them ways of healthy decision making. So if they are coming from a situation where they might not have role models, or I mean, all kids are a little bit moving into that. They're kind of shaky on what you kind of test your beliefs in that situation. So they kind of come in and they get to see high schoolers who have made really, really great choices and are kind of leading the school. But they also get to meet adults who are really, really invested in them making choices and not making the mistakes they did.
Wonderful, Matt. The Youth Summit and the Community Prevention Forum are just both two wonderful events. Just want to remind everybody that the Community Prevention Forum is Thursday, March 15th at 5:30 p.m. at Cape Cod Community College, and the Youth Summit is just for the 7th graders. That will be taking place the next day. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
I had a great time.
Great. My guest today is Matt Hersey. He's the chair of the Barnstable Youth Commission. Now let's take a look at next week's board, committee, and commission schedule. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back on Monday with an all-new episode of Barnstable Today. On Monday's show, we'll talk to BHS Principal Pat Clark and School Counseling Department Head Jen Clark about the changes in the high school schedule for next year. We'll also chat with Director of Admissions at Cape Cod Community College, Matt Cormier, about signing up for this summer semester. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Beal.